Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. Listen, this car right here rocked the world, and that's why I wanted you to see the video on it, because this is what we call future classics, future collectibles. 97 Viper GTS, it's a 2-year only color option in here. And I say hi to Art. He's going to walk on by and walk through the video real quick. Okay, there we go. There's Art rolling on through. How do you not love him? Anyway, all right, so the most collectible color is the blue and white series. 2 years only. The coupes are even more desirable than convertibles. That's why I wanted you to see this. It's a 20,000 mile car. We're talking, this is 2017, we're doing the video. This is a 1997, 20 years later. This car, driven 1,000 miles a year, man. Think about that. Like, I could never own a car and only drive it 1,000 miles a year. That's not even 100 miles a month, right? This is a collector car, and this is how you buy these cars. Not to mention, they've been selling for the same price for about 5 or 6 years now. How cool is that? You can drive a car, it costs so little to own it, but you have one of the greatest toys on the entire planet. All right? This case here, this car, bone stock down to the Michelin pilots that are on it, stocked polished alloys that are here, all right? And some of the great features that made this car a styling killer. I'm going to show you a couple things about it that will hopefully enlighten you a little more. You'll find a way to get it in your garage for sure after the video, but I'll also show you a couple tricks about it that some people don't know, and you will, and that way you can test them, all right? So we'll start with that. So let's look at factory paint first. All right, the stripes here, very nice. They're clear coated over so you can barely feel them. All right, they're not like they're taped on or they're vinyl. All right, and then you go look at factory paint. Now these cars are built in their own assembly line by a team, and they're hand built, they're painted there, trimmed out there, and the whole car is built and put together by Team Viper, which is kind of cool when you think about it, that there's still some place where there's a set of guys hand building a car one at a time. All right, what I think we should do is show you how to open the hood. Most people will spend hours looking for the hood release. I'm going to show you where it is because most people don't know. And this is a good test. You can send your buddies out to the garage and say, hey, listen, go ahead and open the hood and I'll be out there in a second. We'll look at the engine together. You'll be back out there in 30 minutes. They'll still be looking around for it because it's not inside. It's nowhere to be found. They have no idea. So I'm going to show you where it is. It's right inside here. All right. Reach your hand in. Okay. Pull that down. All right. And then there's a safety right here. And then come on in here. And you'll get to see the mother load, because the mother load is here. When you open this hood, no one has ever said, ugh. Everyone drools, gasps, and gets uncomfortable, because this is a package. We're talking 8 liters of V10 power, 488 cubic inches, 450 real deal horsepower. These cars here respond to mild upgrades like no other engine does. You can send just the heads out and cams on this car, and they get another 150 horsepower just of heads and cams. No other car responds like that. Here's how I know how stock this car is. First of all, it has the original Michelin pilots on it, right? Original style. Here are these. The first thing that most people do is they change those ribbed hoses to smooth hoses, because you pick up an additional 10 horsepower because the air that comes in there is smoothed out. It's not so turbulent. All right? That's pretty cool when you see like all of this stuff 20 years later, all of these same stickers and decals, all the original pieces are in place. That's how you get a collector car. This is how, when you go to drive this for a few years and maybe you want to get something else later on, you go to sell it, this is how you're able to sell it, because you know what? This is an unmolested, original, high-performance car. And it's so cool the way it makes power, because it's like a freight train. It doesn't rev to 9,000 RPMs like a Ferrari. It's already making 300 horsepower at 1,500 RPMs. That's pretty sick. Okay, I want to talk about why this car is one of the greatest cars ever built. First off, look at the ridiculous styling back here. No other car other than the Cobra, which has inspired this car, all right? Part of the design team that designed the Cobra also is part of the hands of this as well, all right? Look at the way it kicks up here, then comes back in here. This has something called the gurney bubbles. I don't know if you ever heard that on the GT40s, right? Dan Gurney was a driver. He was tall. He couldn't fit in the car, so they couldn't get the seat any lower. They couldn't lower the floor pan, so what they did was they put these 2 humps in here to give him more headroom. Cool fact, huh? And once we get back in here, you can see that this is a real world car. Like, you can use this car to go wherever you want. This came with a car cover, all right? So the original jack is still in here. All the original carpet's still in place. I love to find a car with a car cover in here because it says to me that the person that owned this car loved this car. Not only did they garage keep it, they put a car cover on it even more so. You know, you don't go to bed at night and lay down in the bed and not put covers on yourself. You want the same for your Viper. All right, so while we're on warm and toasty, I just wanted you to see how nice the interior is held up in this car. Now remember, this is a 20-year-old sports car that's hand-built. This isn't a production car. You know, they build a little over 1,000 Vipers a year. They built a thousand Porsches a week. This is 1,000 a year, right? Think about the low production that we're talking about in here. So there's a couple things about this car that will add to the drivability of it. One of them is it has tilt wheel, all right? Also, the pedal set itself is fully adjustable. It's on a rack, and there's a knob under here. A lot of people don't even know this. You can turn the knob in and move the whole pedal assembly up and back so you can get comfortable in this car. Get this to where you want, slide the seat to where you want so you're not here or not too far back, and you get the recline. So they really made it so it's super ergonomic and comfortable, and then everything fits like it's supposed to. The steering wheel fits in your hand, the shifter's right here. You got some Alpine tunes, factory original Alpine Stereo, circa 1997, that still works, right? This car has air conditioning, it has power windows, right? Keyless entry, so it has a couple nice accoutrements, all right? Has a four-wheel independent suspension, and it makes great power. And the dash and the gauges with the humps here just really add just a nice feature to it. It's just a cool car, man. And when you see this car going down the road, it looks cool inside this showroom because it's a Viper. But outside of here, where there's all these other supermodels around it, it is like a cartoon character out there. It looks spectacular, and I think that as it sounds even better going down the road, you're going to love this car. All right, so as we close out this video, we're talking about this. We're talking about a 2-year only car color. 96 the first year for the GTS coupe, 97 to the blue and the whites, right? We're talking about a car with 20,000 original miles on it, 1,000 miles a year, 6-speed, 450 horsepower, and just an incredible collector feature car that makes for owning something like this so much fun. And I think that if you're looking for a really cool classic car that doesn't cost you a lot of money to own, right? Because they're Dodge parts, they're not super expensive like some maybe exotic car parts, but the power that's there, it's American. This thing is fast, man. It is super light. And it is fast. So I don't know, I can ramble on and on about, I've always loved these cars. I loved when they came out because they like broke all the styling trends, and they're just flat out cool. I don't know how else to summarize it other than, you know what, that's cool. Anyway, call us 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about the Viper and how to get in your garage. I always like to start these cars because they sound so different than every other car. First off, they're a V10. The firing order of them doesn't sound like any other car. Like other manufacturers make V10s, like an M6 BMW or whatever. This just sounds like it's power. It just sounds like power.
Good.